Throughout my childhood, I would spend countless hours on the internet studying the deep and complex lore of Pirates of the Caribbean. I was very savvy in the world of pirates. I knew every curse, I knew every creature, and I knew every ability each creature had. And I knew exactly what happened in the movies. And I thought the third one, I thought it was the perfect plot. I did not see anything wrong with anything. I thought everyone else was just complaining. When I grew up and rewatched it, I started to realize what people were talking about. No hate. I love the movie still, though.
This is a very random thing. Basically, we're going to talk about movies and stuff that we liked and didn't like during our childhood years.
Yeah.
And
They shaped who we are now.
when I saw Jack Sparrow for the first time, I was like, I want to make a YouTube channel about movies when I get older. What are some movies and just, I mean, I guess like TV shows, movies, whatever. Just what are some things that when you were a kid, that was like your thing? Like
Yeah.
you loved that movie, you loved that show. What were some
Okay.
things like that for you?
I remember one of my favorite movies, and like I am not ashamed of this because it's such a good movie. But for a while, my favorite movie was The Incredibles, and
That
it's
not to be stupid, but The Incredibles is honestly incredible. Like I'm not even
oh,
like not even to make a stupid pun, but like The
uh,
Incredibles is honestly such a good movie. Like it takes itself like
yeah.
seriously, which is what makes it so great.
I relate to the part where the kid pulls up on the little tricycle and goes, and he's like, "What are you waiting for?" And he's like, "I don't know, something amazing, I guess."
I love that you sound exactly like him. The Incredibles gets so much more real the older you get because he's like
Yeah,
he's just having a midlife crisis. Like he's
yeah,
literally just like
it's
sad that the
hilarious.
glory days are over.
Cool, ready for
Oh
takeoff.
my gosh. Real quick. So many lines in The Incredibles I randomly think of that are just burned into my subconscious that I just that
Yeah,
I just think of at just random points. I'll literally just be like vacuuming and I'll just think of, like you said, cool, ready for takeoff.
cool, ready
Like
for
I'll
takeoff.
randomly just think of that for no reason.
Cool, ready for takeoff.
What the? Who are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm incredible.
Tony Ridinger. Can we talk about the redesign
I
from what,
did
like
not.
2004 to like 2018?
I did not.
Like Tony Ridinger looked so ugly in the original Incredibles. Oh
I
my
don't remember
gosh.
the
And then they made him look
redesign.
normal.
Wait, what's his
Oh, look it
Tony
up.
Ridinger?
He looks so ugly in the original.
Oh, hold
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Incredibles also was another for sure childhood movie that I love so much, and I'm gonna try to think of one that wasn't Disney, just because again we always are like
Yeah.
any movies Disney. But
We just list every Disney movie.
I remember like SpongeBob being a really big part of my childhood personally, and the SpongeBob
Yeah.
movie when that came out was such a huge deal because like seeing like that was to me as a kid that was always so cool whenever like TV shows or something or cartoons would have like the jump from TV to like a movie. It was
Mhm.
always so much more like intense, and they would always like
Yeah.
push the envelope a little bit more. And I remember the
Yeah.
SpongeBob movie made me so sad as a kid because they have a scene where like SpongeBob and Patrick die for a couple minutes,
Oh,
and it
aren't
was
they on?
like it was really
They're in the
they're like on
kitchen.
the it was like a seaside souvenir shop, and they're like on like a I guess like a desk while like a desk light is
Yeah.
shining on them, and they're just dehydrating to death. And it was really
Yeah.
sad. Like I
You're
remember like
crying as a
they start
kid,
singing
like,
the Goofy Goober.
no,
Like I was as a kid, I was like, no, like so
not
they can't kill SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
And watching it now, it's so funny because like it's sad but funny because like they're like dying, and then they start, and then like a single tear forms into a heart, and then they like fade away, and like the echo on their voice as they die, and then like the dramatic music starts playing, and then it cuts to like the like fake audience in the movie of like fake audience of pirates just like crying, just like they can't kill
Oh
SpongeBob.
my
It's pretty
gosh.
funny now. I'm just like that's like pretty funny that they did that.
That's the end of SpongeBob.
It's
It was
funny,
the
but when you
biggest
were a
like
kid,
fake out as a kid. Oh, that
yeah.
was like the realest thing as a kid. They can't kill SpongeBob. Like no,
Yeah.
like that was the saddest thing.
Well, you had
And
to
then,
have
like
known
oh my
like
gosh,
there's no way they're actually gonna do that. Like, surely.
yeah. But it's funny because as a kid, it was like I wasn't like subjected to like tropes, I guess. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like
you were
oh they're
just
just gonna bring it back. As a kid, that was real. As a kid,
that was the
I was
realest
like
thing.
they're never coming back. Then the Goofy Goober scene at the end, the Goofy Goober rock was like the most hyped up I've ever been as a kid because that was like the coolest thing to ever happen, I think.
I'm a goofy goober.
remember anything
It's
except
it's a crazy one.
that guy uses his like pectorals to like shoot them into
Yeah.
the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, that
I remember
was
that's
a
the only
strange
part I remember.
concept.
Yeah,
What a part to remember.
that's all I remember.
One movie that was like a really big childhood one for me was Hook. That was a big childhood favorite of mine. Hook was like another one of those movies where like I didn't know what was happening throughout the majority of it. And like watching
Yeah.
it now, it's like what is it? It's like a 2 hour and 20-minute movie or something crazy
I have
like
no
that.
clue.
I don't know. I feel like it had to have been the Neverland stuff that really engaged me as a kid because it
Yeah.
was definitely not Robin Williams like yelling at his kids. When you rewatch it, it's so funny when you rewatch movies like that where like the dad is like he's a jerk to his kids
Yeah,
and
he's
he
not a
works
great
all the
dad.
time. When you rewatch it, yes, he's not being a great dad, but I kind of feel for him because he's trying to work and his kids are being super annoying and loud.
Yeah.
Why didn't somebody just shoot me in the head?
Bang! Bang!
But everybody just shut up!
I'm sorry.
And then there's that scene where they're like, "You're not the pan," and then that one kid, "Oh, there you are, Peter." It's like, and the music.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
Whenever they're like making fun of each other and just insulting each other, and like Rufio is giving like the childish insults, Robin Williams is like giving really like funny like adult insults that when you rewatch you're just like you're like that's amazing, that's funny. You're like,
Substitute chemistry teacher,
Mong tongue,
math tutor,
pinhead,
prison barber,
mother lover.
nearsighted gynecologist.
I love it when I don't get something as a kid and then I rewatch the movie and I get it. It's like such a feeling of like catharsis, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's like not catharsis.
yeah, and a
it's
moment of like
dramatic.
that's why my parents will laugh at that
Yeah.
part.
What's the paramecium brain?
I'll tell you what a paramecium is. That's a paramecium. It's a one-celled critter with no brain that can't fly. Don't mess with me, man. I'm a lawyer.
Matilda was
Matilda.
really weird. I remember like my parents really did not like Matilda because
It's
I
insane.
asked them about it a while ago, and they were like, they just said that they were weirded out by it. They were like, it's a weird movie. It's
Oh my
weird. Yeah, you talk about this one because because
Yeah.
just do it.
I wish that I had remembered more about Hook and the SpongeBob movie, but I said what I remembered. Matilda was definitely a childhood movie for me because I watched it as a kid and then like went like a long time without watching it. I remember I think my grandmother had it. I watched it at her house. I remember Miss Trunchbull, like the psychopath
Oh my gosh.
principal being
Yeah.
like, look at this fresh meat when like there's like the new student. There's a point in the movie where the parents are like, you haven't been to like the library in your whole life, you're like 4 years old, and she's like, I'm 6.5, and then the dad's like, no, you're 4, and she's like, I'm 6.5.
You've never set foot in a library. You're only 4 years old.
6.5.
You're 4.
6.5. It was 6 in August.
You're a liar.
Immediately on the first day of her going to school, this little blonde girl is like wearing pigtails, and Miss Trunchbull comes up to her and is like, what are you wearing? And she's like,
Oh yeah.
these are my pigtails, Mrs. Trunchbull. And then she's like, are you a pig? She's like, no, my mommy says they're sweet. And then she picks her
Yeah.
up by her
Yeah.
pigtails and spins
This is
her
what
around
I
and throws
remember.
her over this fence. And it shows her like about to like hit the top of this sharp fence and get impaled, but she like narrowly dodges it. It's crazy.
That's one of those childhood movies that you really go like for everyone that we've talked about, we've been like, this movie this was a weird movie, but like Matilda is like a special case where it's a weird movie.
It's crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a really crazy movie. Matilda was very weird. I guess two childhood movies that were, I don't know why they're pretty big for me. Not even like impactful or whatever, but I used to watch them a bunch. Were Stuart Little 1 and 2. Like those were like particularly the
Yeah.
sequel, because the first one's fine, it's good, but the second one is like, this is so much better than the first one in my opinion. It's the
TheBomb.com.
superior movie. Literally,
The-
story they have okay, okay. I rewatched the first one, not the second one yet, but the first one, and from what I remember, the second one, especially after watching the first one again, they the movies are like obsessed with putting Stuart in like these deadly situations where he's gonna die. Like, and I have no idea why,
He
but rewatching
doesn't.
it, I'm like, why are they like trying to kill him a bunch of times? In
Yeah.
the second one, he literally gets dropped from the top of a skyscraper, and
Oh
he
my
only survives because
gosh.
he lands in like a garbage truck. And then they have this scene where he
On a
builds a plane.
garbage truck?
He lands on on top of a garbage bag, which saves him. And then like he flies a plane through New York City because like he
Oh
found
my
one that they
word.
threw away earlier, and he rebuilds it, and it's so cool.
Can't we talk this over?
This movie
and,
sounds
like-
so cool. What the heck? Oh
All right,
my-
yeah, but Stuart Little 1 and Stuart Little 2 were big childhood movies for me, honestly. And the first one is good, but like when you're watching it, you might be like, well, what's the second one gonna be? But like the second, I don't know. The second one is like top
Better.
tier, my favorite childhood movie, and so much better.
Oh my
Stuart Little 2,
gosh.
everybody watch it.
Everybody watch it, including me.
I got it!